Hey there, heroes. Some news here from No Comics from Old Men here at Haven for Heroes, 34 Front Street, Port Jervis, New York. We gonna close down. Our area's spiking, and we're right on the New Jersey Pennsylvania border. New Jersey's closing down. Pennsylvania's closing down. We do Magic the Gathering here, so people do gather. So we've decided to shut our doors again for COVID. We opened back up. We closed March, early March, and we reopened July 1st. We've been really hard on people about wearing masks, and we have hand sanitizer at the door. You hand sanitize on the way in, you hand sanitize on the way out if you like. Yeah, we've been really strict. We've had problems with people. We've thrown people out. People have made videos about us being real strict on wearing a mask, which I just think is silly. But yeah, so we're closing back down. Actually, Saturday. This is Monday. Saturday was our last day. Coming into the Christmas season, and we'll be closed 2 weeks before Christmas. We are going to do curbside. We're going to ship to anybody who wants us to ship them their books. We're going to go heavy online. We'll be down here, myself and my two partners, which is my son and our other partner, down here a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, listing stuff on eBay, listing stuff on TCG Player, listing stuff on Facebook Marketplace. We're going to start doing some Facebook Marketplace. We may even try Mercarium. So yeah, the good thing about the first shutdown was there was no comics. Everybody was complaining that there was no comics. Well, for those of us who were shut down, it was really a financial relief not to have to pay for comics every week when it was going to be tough to see anybody. At the end, when we opened back up, we lost more than 2/3 of our comic subscribers. We had around 50 comic subscribers, and we maybe have 10. We probably have only 3 serious subscribers anymore. So we're hoping that when this is over, people will find their way back. The thing is to make it through to the end. Some of the things that have helped is the 1 per store variants, thank you variants that we've gotten from Boom. Got one from DC. Don't think we got any from Marvel, but a couple from Image. Yeah, Kirkman. He did the Firepower. He did the Walking Dead. He did the Negans. You know, people are like, oh, so big deal, you sell it for $40 or $50, but you know that adds up, and it, you know, pays a bill. You know, might pay our trash pickup. You know, I can't tell them to come pick up our dumpster for 2 months and then bring it back, right? So there'll be a charge probably for bringing it back. So if I'm closed for 2 more months, I have to eat that trash pickup. When we were closed for all that time, we actually had a larger dumpster, which we paid for the whole time we were closed. We've shrunk down to a smaller dumpster, found that that's all we needed. Started recycling more. So that's a plus. Another big notification is that Nick Khan, you won The Walking Dead. I sent you a message. You haven't got back to me, but it's only been a day or two. So you're going to get the week, but I'm going to also try to notify your buddy. Contact us. If you can't get me on YouTube, we're at Haven for Heroes at Gmail. We're also at Haven for Heroes on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Emmet Garnham, or if you search No Comics for Old Men, you should be able to find me that way. Yeah, that was just a little break in that. So back to comic shop news and running a comic book store. So the other worry is that just like the larger economy, when people lose faith in the economy, and it can be the economy of your store, if they think that maybe you're going to close, they're afraid to trade stuff in to get credit because you might not be around to give the credit. They're afraid to start a subscription, because if they start a subscription with you and then you go out of business, there's a 2 to 3 month lag on getting in on new books at some smaller comic shops. Now you might be able to subscribe at a larger comic shop or get it offline. That would work, but that's all a hassle. It really took me 3 years to start really building a subscription base that people believe that I would still be here. That, I think, is one of the biggest fears of people that I've lost through that, is that they can get it online and they're assured to get it, right? That big online company, they're not going anywhere. So maybe I've lost it to them. Maybe the people just gave up reading comics on a monthly basis. Maybe they've moved to reading them online. I'm not sure. It's really too soon to really know. So what you'll be treated to is more videos, because I've been lacking in the videos the last couple of weeks. It's just been really busy. A lot of meetings, a lot of decision making, a lot of figuring out when our deliveries are coming. Another big thing, how to move from UCS to Lunar. So UCS was coming on Thursdays. Yeah, like your next week's comics for Tuesday, we heard the week before on Thursday. Yeah, it's great for damages, and it's great for shortages and knowing that and knowing ahead of time. But it also throws you completely out if you're used to doing it another way. I know it's change. Change is not always a bad thing. I kind of liked getting them the night before. I count them all up. I put them all out. I pull everybody's books. And then on Wednesday, boom. I can't do anything with them when I look through them. I have to put them back in the box, which then also creates a possibility of a damage instead of directly out on the floor. So pretty much I haven't been going through them until Tuesday night. I don't put my DC books out early. Sorry, it's Wednesday. That's when our new comics will be out. So Lunar, I've got a Lunar order coming in, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. Everybody seems to be really happy with how Lunar packs their books. For me, it's cost. I mean, yeah, I want my books packed well, but I also don't want to pay an extra fee for COD when you make me have COD. I don't want to pay because you use extra packing material, you move to a second box that hosts 4 comics in it. I also don't want to pay that. I mean, I've had that complaint sometimes with Diamond. Sometimes you get the big large box, which you're paying a higher amount for. It's not just weight, it's sometimes size. And the second box has 2 comics and a poster in it, and I'm like, this is crazy. But you don't think they'd have just a different way of shipping it? I don't know. But yeah, so we're at least going to be closed 2 weeks. Hopefully there isn't a spike at Christmas time. We're going to try to do some inventive stuff. I'm not going to do any auctions before Christmas because people are getting ready for Christmas. They want to go out and shop, or they're going to shop online. They don't want to take 2 or 3 hours to watch through an auction. We're going to try a lot of different stuff. After Christmas, I want to try and do a YouTube, Facebook, Twitch auction. So try to get the most eyes on it. It might be really, it's probably going to be really crazy. But look, you know, you got to do what you got to do when you're in business for yourself. You know, I have to think about these guys making a paycheck, right? I'll survive. I have a regular job, and this is kind of my little hobby. But the guys who work here, my partners, this is their livelihood, and we have to make their. Not only do we have to make the rent and the lights, but we got to make their salary, and whatever way we can. So we're going to go hard on eBay, like I said. We're going to go Facebook Marketplace, and we're still buying. You know, that's the other thing you can't do, is you can't stop buying. One of the things that happened, how the bubbles burst in these collectible markets, is that stores stop buying back at a fair market price. You know, sometimes I can't buy a collection. If there's one good book and there's 50 damaged books, I can't pay you for all the books and the one good book. I'll take all of it off your hands, but I'm really going to pay for the only thing I'm going to pay for is what I want. And I let an Avengers Annual 10, which first appearance of Rogue, walk the other day because, you know, it wasn't perfect. He had probably another 50 books with it. He wanted $50. He wanted like $1 a book. And all the other books were just in very red condition. Some of them were in bags and boards that were mouse chewed. You know, I was like, and I can do 25, and I'm really just buying the one book, and you know, if you want take all the rest books back. But yeah, he wanted 50, and that's the amount of money he needed. So, you know, his loss or my loss, I don't know. That's going to be a good book. But I've had it before. It's not like there's none of them out there. It'll come through again. The one per store stuff really help us out. We really appreciate that. And like I said, we're going to start doing hopefully a video every week, maybe 2. I want to bring you a lot more comic book content and a lot more comic store news content about, you really got to be in this business to love it. There are some people that are doing it really well. I'm not one of them. I'd like to be doing it better, and I know what I'm doing wrong, right? People don't have to tell me, hey, this, that, or the other thing. I actually know what I'm doing wrong. It is, once you're up and running, I mean, every time we've closed, we've gotten closer to where we want to be. Alphabetizing, bagging and boarding, pricing. I'm still not 100% on the pricing. Like there's a lot of people out there that want you to price your books when they're looking so they can decide where they want it. But every time I've done that, I've found like very expensive bags and boards sitting in the back of bins where people have switched it out. You can't watch everybody when they're going through the bins. And I've found, $55 bag and board, no comic in it. So I know that's been switched out for a lower price. I mean, I guess we could check each one, but then then it's you're either accusing them then, or so. We don't price our Magic cards, and nobody ever complains because they're like stock exchange. One day they're $3, the next day they're $100. Who knows? It happens with comics all the time now. I mean, it wasn't like this, but it is like this now. I mean, you can turn around, and if you didn't wake up and look at your Key Collector app alert that says, hey, this comic just blew up last night. You come in, you open the store up, first guy in the door walks right to that comic, takes it, and goes, I'll take it for that $5 because it's now $50, and he's going to go flip it on eBay. I have a bigger overhead than him. I need to make a portion of that. I'll even, a lot of people say I don't like flippers are fine, but we both have to make a profit. right? So I don't mind selling it to you for less the percentage I would pay on eBay, plus the percentage of PayPal, which now I'm on managed, so it's not PayPal anymore, but it comes out to a little bit around the same amount of percentage, less a discount that I don't have to spend the time putting it online and then mailing it, because it's a considerable amount of time. You have to go to the post office, you have to do all these things extra rather than having somebody walk through the door. So I always give a deal to the people walking through the door, but you can't beat me for, I can't stay open. Then where are you going to go buy that comic? If it's selling for $25 online, I'm more than willing to sell it to somebody for $12. But if it's $100 online, you're not getting it for $5. I just can't keep my doors open at that. Because if you can't sell it online and you want to bring it back and sell it to me for 40%, right? Because we buy at 40% of what it's selling for. So that's another thing. The guy buys it, tries it for 30 days. He doesn't get what he wants for it. The book starts to drop. He brings it back and he wants 40% of what it sells for. Well, you bought it for $5. You can't sell it back to me for 40% of what its selling value. I can buy it back for 40% of what you bought it for. But maybe I'm getting too deep. Maybe I'm ranting a little bit. I am a little shook about we kind of closed really quickly. The decision was made quickly. We didn't shove people out the door and go, "Hey, get out, we're closed." It's been really slow. Less and less people have been coming out to hang out. Comic shop, magic shop, really not the kind of retail where you go in, get your thing and leave. You come in, you talk comics, you talk magic, you sit down, play a game, maybe you read your comic here and then come back and talk about it. I'm not a person that says this is not a library. There's a back issue bin. There's tons of books you can read while you're here. The 50-cent bins, if you're reading them, they're already in red condition. You're not going to harm them anymore. But you might find a series that you love. It's great. I really want to make comic readers. I don't want to make, if they become collectors, that's great. That's great. But it's really about reading comics. There's such great stories, and I've loved them so much for so long in my life that I just want to share it out there with people, and if they make great money, hey, I have a buddy who's been buying books since I opened, and man, he's made out like a bandit. Just so many books. He got on Something's Killing the Children when it first came out. He has every issue. I actually sold out of #1 so fast he ended up having to get the B cover, and the A cover is worth a little bit more money. So he always rags me on that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the way the comic business is right now and how things are blowing up, if you're reading for enjoyment, you also can turn a pretty decent profit. But you have to be willing to then sell it. There's a right time to sell anything and everything. Turning and burning might be good right now. You read it, pack it, sell it. Have a good time. Bring it back in, trade it for next week's comics. Say, hey, this book went up to $60. Can I get next week's comics for free? These are the comics I want. Hell yeah, I can turn and sell that right away. And trade value, everybody knows trade value is great for a shop. It's kind of like margining down in stocks. Maybe I'll do a whole episode on that and talk about how margining down maximizes profits in a collectible shop. It sounds like that might be a good episode. But I've been doing this, like we're coming up on 20 minutes. I'm just babbling. I also haven't been asleep yet because I work midnights at my regular job. So I'll sign off now. I won't keep you any longer, but while you're out there, keep reading comics. We love you. Stay safe. And if you ain't wearing a mask, wear a mask!